It began on a cold morning, when the mist still clung to the edges of the forest and the sound of machines echoed from a nearby mansion. A millionaire, proud of his exotic estate, had once bought animals to decorate his garden, creatures that moved and breathed like living trophies. Among them was a small, snow-white rabbit. But when the novelty faded, the rabbit became invisible, just another forgotten ornament of wealth. One day, the rabbit was injured. Its tiny leg got caught under a broken wire near the fence. The family saw it struggling, but no one stopped. "It's just a rabbit," someone muttered. Days passed. Hunger became a slow-burning fire. The cold turned its breath into small clouds of pain. But the rabbit did not surrender. It looked beyond the fence, toward the vast, wild fields, the world it once belonged to. Deep inside, something whispered, "Keep moving." And then, fate intervened. Found the tiny creature on the edge of his land. He knelt down, brushed the dirt of its fur, and whispered, "Hey there, little one. You are not done yet." He took the rabbit home, wrapping it in an old wool cloth. His cottage was small, filled with the smell of soil and bread, but it carried a warmth no mansion could buy. But in freedom's first light, the days that followed were slow, fragile, and silent. The farmer spoke little, but his hands were kind. He cleaned the rabbit's wound each morning, fed it fresh herbs. At first, the rabbit feared everything: footsteps, shadows, even the farmer's touch. It had learned that people meant pain. But this man was different. He never forced it to trust him. He simply stayed. And with time, the fear began to fade. Each day, the rabbit hopped a little farther. Each night, it rested closer to the farmer's chair. "Maybe we're both trying to start again." In that shared silence, something sacred was born. The rabbit became more than a rescued creature. It became a companion, a heartbeat that reminded the farmer why kindness still mattered. But the world outside had not forgotten the millionaire's estate. When word spread that the old man had rescued a rare white rabbit, the same one from the mansion, people laughed. Some said he should sell it. "You could make good money," they told him. But the farmer only smiled and said, "Money can't measure what's alive." The rabbit grew stronger. It began to follow him into the fields, helping behind his boots, watching him plant seeds and gather crops. Children came to see the rabbit that came back from death. They brought small gifts: lettuce leaves, carrots, wildflowers. The story spread beyond the village. Someone filmed the rabbit playing in the fields beside the farmer, and soon the world was watching. People from across the country wrote letters, not about fame, even when everything seems broken. Years passed, but their bond only deepened. Every morning, he would whisper, "Still here, my friend?" Always. One winter morning, the farmer fell ill. "Let him stay beside me." For days, the rabbit refused to leave his bed. When the farmer took his final breath, the rabbit sat still, then slowly hopped to the window, where sunlight poured through the frost. The villagers buried the man under the great oak by his field. They built a small wooden carving of a rabbit beside the grave, and every dawn, the real rabbit would come, sit quietly beside it, and wait for the first light of day. Became a symbol of something greater than both of them. Pain had become purpose. Abandonment had become belonging. People from faraway cities began visiting the village, calling it the Meadow of Hope. They said the rabbit's story changed the way they saw animals, not as possessions, but as partners in the journey of life. Others wrote books and songs about the rabbit who refused to give up. But those who came to see it in person noticed something strange. The rabbit never stayed for long. It would appear at sunrise, hop around the oak once. And so, a legend was born. Not of a hero in armor, not of a king in a castle, but of a humble creature and a man who believed that even the smallest life deserves a chance to heal. The world would later call it the rabbit's miracle. But in that quiet field, under the white sky, there were no titles, only to souls who had saved each other.